Hello. Today we are going to tell you a story that will touch your heart. This is a story about trust, family ties, and unexpected betrayals. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more of these fascinating stories. Harry Henderson was sitting in his favorite armchair by the fireplace. He was looking through old photos of his children, Alex and Sarah, when they were young. They were laughing, playing in the garden, and always had time for their father. But those days were only a memory. Lately, Alex and Sarah have rarely called. Each conversation was limited to discussing financial difficulties or asking for help. One day Alex called, "Dad, you know how hard life is right now, and I'd like to discuss an idea." The conversation quickly turned to the will. Alex hinted that an inheritance census could help keep the property in the family. Harry thought about it, and he trusted his children because they were his closest people. That evening, he decided to contact his lawyer to make changes to his will. "I want my children to know that I care about them," he told the lawyer. A week later, everything was finalized. Harry was relieved that he had made the right choice. After amending his will, Harry expected his relationship with his children to become closer. But the opposite happened. Alex was the first to change. He used to call every week, but now his calls have become infrequent. When Harry dialed his son's number himself, he answered quickly but coldly. "Hi, Dad. I'm really busy right now. Can we talk later?" But that later never came. Sarah, who always came to see Harry with her grandchildren, now limited herself to short messages. She explained that she was busy, but Harry felt that it was something else. Dad, we have a lot on our plate right now. The kids are at school and I'm working overtime. I promise we'll come over soon," she wrote. But a month passed and her visit never happened. Harry began to notice that he was spending more and more days alone. He remembered how Alex and Sarah had promised him that they would be there for him in his old age. "You can count on us, Dad," Sarah had said. Now those words seemed hollow. One evening, Harry decided to invite his children to dinner. He called them both, but they answered only a few hours later. "Dad, that's a great idea, but I'm not sure if I can make it," Alex said. We're busy this week, but we'll definitely make time next week," Sarah added. The dinner never happened. Harry began to doubt whether he had made the right decision. "Maybe I was too quick. Maybe they just need time," he reassured himself. But the changes in the children's behavior were too obvious. They were no longer interested in his health, no longer asked how his days were going. Harry felt unnecessary. One day he called Sarah to share the news he had developed health problems. "Dad, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'll call you later, okay?" But the call never came. Loneliness became Harry's constant companion. His days passed in silence, broken only by rare calls from friends or neighbors. He was not used to this kind of life. His house used to be filled with laughter and noise, especially when Sarah's grandchildren came for the weekend. But now he could only hear the clock ticking away the seconds, reminding him of the inexorable passage of time. One evening, while flipping through the mail, Harry found a bank statement, and it showed that a significant amount of money had been withdrawn from his accounts. He knew that he hadn't made any large expenditures recently. What could it be? He asked himself. The next day, Harry called his financial advisor to clarify the details. "Mr. Henderson, those funds have been transferred to your son's account," the advisor replied. Harry froze. "Alex withdrew this money. Why?" The advisor explained that it was done in accordance with the terms of the new will, which allowed children to access certain assets. Harry felt anxiety building inside him. A few days later, he called Sarah again, this time with a direct question. "Sarah, did you withdraw money from my account?" She hesitated and then answered, "Dad, it was a small amount. We needed to pay off a car loan." And I told you about it." But Harry knew she hadn't said anything like that. His doubts began to turn into suspicions. Why had the children suddenly become so distant? Why didn't they explain their actions? He decided to review the documents related to the will. Opening the folder his lawyer had left behind, Harry began to read. Property and assets can be used by children until the death of the owner, provided they agree. This paragraph shocked him. He did not remember agreeing to this. Harry realized that his trust could have been exploited. The next morning he tried to talk to Alex. Son, I need to understand why you are using my money without my permission. Alex replied defiantly, Dad, we are your family. We're just using what belongs to us. You don't need this money anyway. These words hurt Harry. He realized that his children perceived him more as a source of resources than as a father. Harry could not shake the feeling that he had been deceived. The children he had raised with love and self-sacrifice were now behaving as if he were just a tool. One night, as Harry was trying to sleep, he received a call from his neighbor, Mr. Brown. Harry, I saw your kids outside your house taking pictures of something. Is that normal? This news alarmed him. The next morning he decided to talk to the children directly. Alex, Sarah, what were you doing near my house? What are those photos? He asked during a video call. Sarah shrugged her shoulders. Dad, it's for the property appraisal. We thought it would be better for you to move to a smaller house and sell this one. Elena, these words burned him like a cold wind. You didn't even ask me. This is my home, and I don't plan to move anywhere. Alex interjected. Dad, be realistic. You'll be more comfortable in a smaller place, and we can use the money for our family. Harry realized that his children, had long considered his house as their property. He started looking for additional documents to find out how far they had gone. What he found shocked him. A plan to sell the house was already in place, and the kids had even found a buyer. Harry remembered how hard he had worked to build this house. He remembered every detail, how he and his wife had chosen the furniture, how he had planted trees in the garden where his children played. Now it was all just a commodity for them. His frustration turned to anger. Harry decided to take action. He contacted his lawyer to discuss the possibility of changing his will and stopping his children's actions. Mr. Henderson, that's possible, but you have to be prepared for confrontation. Your children may not take it well, the lawyer warned. Harry knew it wouldn't be easy, but he couldn't let them use him anymore. Harry could no longer remain silent. He invited the kids to his house to finally clear things up. Alex and Sarah agreed, but their indifference to the situation only added fuel to the fire. They showed up on a Sunday afternoon, talking to each other as if it were a normal meeting. Harry met them in the living room, where he had the documents he wanted to show them. Have a seat. We need to talk, he said in a serious tone. Sarah looked at him as if she had a premonition. Dad, what's wrong? Harry sighed. I know about your plans to sell my house. I found the documents, and I know that you've already decided what's going to happen to me without even consulting me. Alex frowned. Dad, we're doing this for you. But we just want you to live in comfort. Comfort. Harry raised his voice. Comfort without the home I've been building my whole life. You haven't even thought about how I feel. Sarah tried to calm the situation. Dad, we thought you would understand. You're not young anymore, and you'll be better off in a smaller place. But Harry was not going to put up with it. This is not about a house. This is about trust. You made me rewrite my will, promising that you would be there for me, and now I'm left alone. Where is your care when I need it? Alex stood up and started pacing the room. Dad, you're exaggerating. We can't be there for each other every day. We have our own families and problems. Harry felt his heart clench. I never asked you to give up anything, but I was hoping for a little respect. And what did I get? Deception and indifference. Sarah tried to defend herself. We're not doing this out of selfishness. We just want to do the right thing. Harry looked her straight in the eye. The right thing. Right for whom? For you. Or for me. The argument continued for another hour, but it became obvious that the children did not understand his feelings. Harry made a decision he had been thinking about for several days. Emira, I'm changing my will, he said, looking at them. Sarah and Alex were shocked. Are you serious? Asked Alex. Absolutely. You have shown that for you I am just a means to an end. I will not allow you to manipulate me anymore. After the confrontation with his children, Harry realized that his life would never be the same. The feeling of betrayal hurt, but he was also relieved. The first step was to visit a lawyer. Harry made his intentions clear. The will needed to be changed. "Mr. Henderson, are you sure about this? It will cause even more tension in your family," the lawyer asked. Harry nodded. "I'm not afraid anymore. This is my life, and I want my decisions to be respected." The will was rewritten. Harry decided to leave a significant portion of his wealth to charity, a foundation that helps lonely elderly people. The rest he kept for himself to live the life he had always dreamed of. A few weeks later, Harry received an unexpected call. It was his old friend Frank, whom he hadn't spoken to in years. "Harry, I heard about what happened. Maybe you'd like to join our Veterans Club. We meet every week, talk, share stories." This offer gave Harry hope. He agreed, and at the first meeting he felt part of something bigger. The people who were there welcomed him with warmth and support. Gradually, his life began to change. He started traveling more, meeting new people, doing things he hadn't had time for before. Alex and Sarah tried to resume their relationship, but Harry kept his distance. "I don't hold grudges, but trust is something you have to earn," he told them during one conversation. This story reminds us how important it is to maintain your dignity and make decisions that bring you peace of mind. If you like this story, please subscribe to our channel and leave your feedback. Let's create space for such important stories together.